Hello everyone. Welcome to tonight's pick a card reading. And tonight we are playing an interesting little game because I am just imagining if I were there right now in your city, in your town, in your village, and it was an outdoor festival of sorts where there were different merchants there selling their goods, tomatoes and eggplants, and there's the cheese man with the beautiful cheeses and the smells of people selling food and cooking. Could be any era. And there I am sitting at the festival. I am your personal tarot reader tonight. And so we are going to just go right through the cards as if you were standing in line at a real live festival and you were waiting your turn for a reading, and I'll explain exactly how it works. So first, I'm going to lay the cards out. And when you sit down at the table, today's gift to you is just a single card reading, and I'm going to ask the cards to tell the story of what it is that's the question on your mind. So to receive your reading, pretend that you're sitting right across the table from me and you're not telling me your issue. You're just holding it in your mind. And I'm going to draw a card and read what the card's story is for you, okay? So let me draw a card and you hold in your mind, what is your situation? What is your difficulty? What is your problem? What is your dilemma? Okay. Let me just see how is the best way to hold this. I think this way. So with the particular problem that you're facing or the situation, there is a sense of real confidence here. The Queen of Pentacles is known for being resourceful and really smart and being able to figure things out. She's quick on her feet. She's got good humor and good wit, and she's a problem solver. So in this particular situation, if you were sitting right across the table from me, I would say generally this looks like a positive situation. There's something going on here that's causing personal growth for all the people involved, and people are looking to you for leadership. Okay, so if I were you, I would just brush up on any skills that you have that you're feeling a little shaky about. Run through your mind, what is it that you could be a little bit better at, and sharpen that skill, and that's going to help you as you go forward with the situation, okay? So that's card number 1. And now we are going to card number 2. So for those of you, you pull your question into your mind. Imagine you're sitting right across the table from me, and I am your personal tarot reader tonight. And so no matter where you're watching from, no matter what your question is, this card is for you. And we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Coins showed up in the very first card. And so if you were sitting across the table from me, I would be saying to you that you have a very sharp decision to make. And that as you hold your situation in your mind right now, you have a sharp decision to make. There's a coldness about your situation. And whoever it is that you're working with, whoever is your problem person, they're being very icy toward you. This could be a sign that they're not your person, all right? So what you need to do is be very honest with yourself. Get a piece of paper out and write down on the paper everything you really like about the person, okay? Write that on one side of the paper. On the other side of the paper, write everything that you don't like. See that X right there? What don't you like about your person? And be very honest about it, because you need to communicate what's true for you, okay? So we're going to move on to card 3. These are very quick little one-card readings. As you press in and take into yourself a collective reading, what you do is hold your question in your mind. all right? Because I'm not reading the questions because I want to let the cards tell. So anybody that's watching right now, this is your card and I am your reader. So listen, here's your answer. It's very important that you look for the opportunity to turn your back or walk away from things that are not working for you. This is a card of inspired action. It could be that you're being called to stop a certain behavior. If you're trying to work on something and you don't feel you can walk away, for example, let's say it's your job, or let's say you're married and you simply cannot walk away. This card is about walking away from some habit that you have that's getting to you. You might find yourself complaining a lot, talking about your person or your situation in a negative way. So, can you turn from that? Can you make a decision that you will only talk about the best part of your person? Can you? Can you turn away from focusing on what's not working and instead focus on what is? Okay? So it's a card of discernment. If you have to stay in your situation, card number 3, then you need to find what you can turn away from that will give you the power to find balance within your situation. Okay? So, card number 4, we're just pretending we're at the festival. I'm sitting at my table, I'm all set up. You have been standing in line because these are free readings. Well, not totally free because I like tips. And the way you tip me is to hit the thumbs up. Oh, thank you. I just received that tip. So, this is card number 4. Card number 4, if you're watching right now, this is your card, and I am your personal tarot reader right this minute. So hold your situation in your mind. I know it's important to you. Take a breath. And let's see what your card is. Card number 4. The 7 of Rods, the 7 of Wands. So, card number 4, you are kind of in a battle, aren't you? You're standing up for yourself. You may feel that everywhere you turn, you're needing to defend yourself. And that's not fun energy, card number 4. You know what? Also, I bet you might say, oh, this can't be my card because I'm not defensive. You've got the wrong person, Catherine. Well, let me just say there could be that somebody is misinterpreting you. Do you ever sense that people are misinterpreting you? That might indicate that you aren't being defensive, but that you are being interpreted that way. But look at that face. There's kind of a happiness in it. So, are you one of those people that's like what they call a contrarian, and you kind of like to poke at people and poke the bear? You know, like if you get a rise out of somebody, it somehow makes you feel good. You know what I mean? I mean, people can misinterpret that rough sense of humor and not understand you very well. So, card number 4, with your situation, I would look carefully, see if you might be a tiny bit defensive. You might be, or or if you feel like they're misunderstanding you, then that's what you need to address. All right? Because you're coming across as a little bit defensive. Okay, so card number 5. So those of you that are writing your questions, here's how we're playing tonight, okay? So I am your personal card reader tonight. It's just like I was giving out free readings right next to the tomato salesman at the market. And you sit down at my table, and all it takes is a tip. And the tip for me is to tap that thumbs up, because that truly is a wonderful gesture in return for your free reading. So, whoever's here right now, what do you want to know? Press in. What's really troubling you? Ask the question in your own mind, and then I'll turn the card because I am your personal reader tonight, and this is your card. The 5 of Rods. Look at all that conflict. So, card number 5, and it's the 5 of rods. So 5 is a number that represents a little bit of disorder and out of balance. However, this is not a fight or an argument here. This is more like a sign of working out and being in training. Like they're all in some sort of group where, what's that word? Is it dojo? Over with the sumo wrestling, I do have kind of a weakness for sumo wrestling, but the idea that you have to strengthen yourself, that when you're in a contest, if you practice and you practice with people that are just as good as you are. So with this card, card number 5, when you're asking about your question, the card is saying that there's something in how you're handling your situation that's actually good for you. Okay, so take a breath. Things are not supposed to be real easy, okay? They're not. We are supposed to have some friction. You can't light a fire without friction. And so sometimes we have a false feeling that we can have a relationship where everything is easy all the time and everybody gets along and nobody's having a struggle. And that's just not true. You need to have some stress. I'm doing all this gesturing behind the camera. Maybe I could show my, there, yeah. Cool. Because the point is, though, don't be afraid of conflict. It's very important. A little shadow is good for any relationship. So whether this is a family relationship, a love relationship, whatever it is that you're trying to face right now, the idea of being able to see it as training, that nobody's trying to harm you. There's some things going on where the universe is wanting you to be sure what you want. And when you're arguing with yourself inside, it just means the people you're dealing with don't know how to take you. They don't know how to understand what it is you're wanting. So the card number 5, the big answer for you in your situation is don't be afraid of a little stress and tension. Everybody can grow from it. It's not that you're mean, but it's just that you kind of aren't afraid to rub each other the wrong way a little bit. There's a woman on YouTube called Esther Perel, Perel, and she has a wonderful collection of YouTubes on how friction can actually help a relationship. Okay, so there you have it. Now let's go on to next person in line. Remember, we're at a festival today. You're indulging my imagination. I'm sitting here with my hair up and pinned because it's hot and humid here. I've got my candle lit. You just sit down at the table, and my challenge is don't tell me your question right now. If you're here listening and watching right now, I am your personal tarot reader, and this is your card. Hold your situation in your mind and see if there isn't a little bit of a resonance or harmony with what this random card has to say to you. This is card number 6. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. If you were wondering, oh, by the way, if I didn't tell you, I do work for tips, and that's hitting the like button. So thank you for hitting the like button. That's my tip jar. Speaking of tip jars, there couldn't be a more solid yes for anyone in a single card reading. This is a yes in terms of relationships, friendships, career, finances. We don't know what it is because I don't know your specific situation. But if you're asking something and wondering if it's going to happen, this would be a yes for you. However, it's the beginning. It's like the seed. Remember that every suit in the tarot, let me bring my shadow up here again. Every suit in the tarot starts at the ace and it goes all the way up through the king. And all of those stages of development are coming ahead of you. So are you complete? No. But there's something brand new starting for you, card 6, and this is going to make a big shift in your life. I feel, though, that you may be a little bit insecure. There may be some, oh, you might be shy, neurodiverse, or just wondering how to deal with personal relationships. I do have a lot of genius nerd types that follow me. My father worked for IBM, and I have 7 brothers who are all geeky geniuses. So I know what that's all about. So you might want to follow somebody like Esther Perel, or there's someone else, it's Jimmy with on relationships. He's wonderful. He does very short videos on how couples can communicate better, okay? So that's what this is about, this particular card. If this is yours, this is a yes, but proceed knowing that you need some education. All right. And YouTube is filled with education. Oopsie. You can Google anything on YouTube and get answers from people. For example, if you're following me here tonight, you're finding some of what you're hearing engaging and inspires you a bit, please do follow me. I'm doing live readings a couple of times a day. Some of them I do several cards, not just one. But tonight I'm just kind of experimenting with how we can all as a collective support one another in this type of reading. And so again, my tip jar is the like button. So thank you for liking. And please do subscribe and you'll be notified next time I do a tarot party. So this is card number 7. And so you are sitting at the table right across from me. I'm asking you to hold your question in your mind. And the card that I pull, I'm going to tell the story of that card. Listen in and see if any of it is resonant with what's going on for you. Okay, card number 7. I'm your personal reader, and this is your card, the Hanged Man. Oh, I want to say oi. So this card, my dear viewer, this is the card of someone who volunteered to go into a pause, volunteered to kind of maybe say, okay, I'm not going to date for a while, or I'm just going to, be okay at this job for this next few months while I figure things out. I don't really want to advance much farther right than I am right now. So this might be true for someone who's hoping that a certain person will change their mind, a certain person will come to them, return to them. I'm really kind of a teacher that says an X is an X for a reason. And for the most part, if they are not returning to you in with some sort of change, some sort of taking responsibility for what didn't work in the past, you need to have the exposure and the experience of other people during this time between. If you're waiting for that person, I'm a person that says, well, go out and meet some people. If you don't feel like dating, you don't have to, but you can do some volunteer work and get involved with some sort of group helping people, which will help you just see there's so many humans are going through very similar emotions than you are, okay? And it helps grow you up a little bit. The thing is about the Hanged Man is that you kind of forgot you put yourself there. And some people think they start blaming people, or they think, well, why isn't anything happening? And I always say, well, think back now. Did you decide to pull out a little bit? Did you decide to go into hibernation a little bit a while ago? This is reminding you, and that you're stronger than you think you are. Thank you for that tip, whoever did that. Thank you, thank you. I would do a cartwheel, but you couldn't see it. Anyway, but the point is, though, that part of the stall that you're in is because you agreed with yourself to stall. Okay, you may say, well, if I don't hear from so-and-so by such and such time, I'm going to move on. Well, keep that promise, okay? Remember, usually a past person is going to end up disappointing you again. However, that's not the end of the world. This is what I tell people. You have to go look in the mirror and look yourself right in the eye and say to yourself, I'm 100% comfortable being with a person who likes to, just likes to pick at things. I'm 100% comfortable being with a person that likes to pick at things, because some people are like that. They're sweet and they're prickly, right? And sweet. So they're like a pineapple, sweet on the inside, but prickly on the outside. And if the person keeps coming back, I'm just using an example. If the person keeps coming back, you have to evaluate you. If the prickly's too much, that's okay. Let the person move on and find someone it doesn't bother. And you find yourself a sweet person. Okay, so this is our next card. I think it's card number 8. So those of you who've just joined me, we're pretending we're at the festival. You just sat down across the table from me, and I'm doing free 1-card readings tonight for you, and just for tips. And the like button is the tip jar. And so all you have to do is hold the person in your mind, What is your question? I love this part of tarot because the idea is, does any part of the story resonate enough that it gives you food for thought, right? Because I don't know your, thank you for that tip. Oh, my heart goes pitter pat. So the people that are here right now, this is your card. I am your personal tarot reader, and this is your story. Okay. So hold your situation. This card is for you. You know what? The magic of using tarot like this live is it's just a decision on your part. I decide to take this reading personally. And it's just as if I'm talking to you, my dear viewer, that this is a truly personal reading for you. So this says, this time, it's important that you take time to be separate from other humans. Sometimes it's the humans you were born with. Sometimes there's a lot of people depending on people as adults, seriously, and they need to stand on their own 2 feet. And then sometimes it's another person that you're with that you kind of bring out, you don't bring out the best in each other, and you're kind of back and forth, okay? So what we're looking at here, if this is your card, thank you so much for joining me and joining my energy. And thank you for filling my tip jar with likes. But this energy is calling you to pause. Now, the last card was the Hanged Man. So if you didn't see that, when you watch this again, or just, run your backwards a little bit, but see that star that's right inside the lantern? That star is a healing. Okay, so this would be true right now. The energy of this card is that if you need healing for your person, if there's something that's happened that's hurt their feelings, or you feel separate, it's important that you look at your own energy, your own personality. What can you heal in yourself? What is it that is pulling you out of balance? They say that a weakness is a strength pulled out of balance. So if something in your situation is people are not getting each other, like you're actually bringing out the worst in each other, this card is telling you just pause for a little bit. Where's the center of your faith? Who is a spiritual leader, or who do you admire? Is there anybody on YouTube that you admire? Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay are 2 people that are passed away now, but they have wonderful, loving videos, and they're all over YouTube. There's so many people that can help you to find in your own self what you think you need in someone else. Right now, if you're feeling overwhelmingly sad or angry, that energy is not attractive. So taking responsibility for your own feelings will really help you figure out what to do. There's some resources that will be in the description box and comments. And they're in my other videos, my other live videos. My resources are there because I want to share some tools that I suggest, okay? So that is our reading for pile number 8. So taking a pause, looking at your own feelings. You don't want to be trying to make major decisions if you have a lot of anger or fear or doubt or frustration. Journaling is a great way to get rid of that stuff. Just write it on a piece of paper and just crunch the paper up and throw it away. But trying to just feel a little more calm and peace will help you figure out a good solution. I do have, I wish I was organized enough to be able to do 12 things at once. I would put the resources there for you, but I will put them in when we're finished. Okay, let's go forward. So now, whoever's here right now, this is the setup. I'm at a festival. You're walking by with getting your tomatoes for tomorrow's lunch, and you see me sitting there at a table. So you walk over and you see that I'm giving free readings, 1-card readings. All it is, I'm working for tips. So you hit the like, that's your tip. And to play the game, you don't tell me what your problem is. You just sit down and I challenge myself and you by holding in your mind your problem. By holding it in your mind, let's I will pull a card. I'm going to tell the story of the card, and then it's you. Thank you for that tip. But your job is to see if you have a part of this story resonates with you, okay? And if it doesn't, you can sure hit the thumbs down because that would be appropriate. Oh, thank you. Those tips are flying in. But anyway, so I am your personal tarot reader, and this is your card. I think I lost track. I think it's our 9th one. So here we go. Let's see. And we have the Two of Rods. Okay, so let me just look at it. Okay, so this is one of my favorite cards because this is I would say, a careful yes. Okay, there's a bit of achievement with this realization. So something in your situation, it's like you feel like, yes, something about this feels really right to me. And so that aha, that feeling you have, you're just holding there in your hand with that globe. You're just holding it right in your hand. Okay. However, notice the wall before him. So whatever it is that you're wanting to advance, notice there is a wall. Now the wall doesn't go all the way up so you can't see that sun rising over there. See the sun rising? So this shows me that there's more information needed. So whatever it is, if you're asking for a flat out yes and no with this particular card, my dear viewer, it's telling you that you need more information. Feel confident about what you've achieved so far. Feel okay about what you're hoping will grow in your situation because there is, look at those flowers at the bottom, see those? And there's this sense of yes that I read in this card. But I also see the need to be prepared to go forward. Okay, so I feel like this is a yes with caution and to make sure that you see all the details. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you, Codes of Harmony. I appreciate that. You know what? I can't think of the name of it right now. I have it in this little bag that I keep it in. But I will look that up and I'll put it in the description box. I love it too. Isn't it pretty? And I love, this is kind of a new format for me. I haven't done the readings this style before. And so I'm just really enjoying it. And I hope you guys are too. Okay, so the next card, again, we're setting it up. We are at a festival or a farmer's market, and they're selling the most delicious stuff. There's cheese and there's bread, baguettes, fruit, beautiful fruit, and those little sprouts. Have you ever seen those micro sprouts they sell? I love, oh yes, thank you for the tip. Y'all are just, I just love it all so much. Thank you. Because in my mind, it's like we're together. We're right there. This is live. So this is your reading. I'm your personal reader, and this is your card. So hold your situation. This is kind of a lesson. I'm such a teacher. I'm so sorry I can't help myself. But this is a lesson in how to receive a collective reading because they are amazing. I have a couple of readers that knock me out every time that it's like they're talking to me. So with this particular one, hold your situation in your mind. The card will have a story. See if any little part of it fits your situation, because in the snip of a time and with just one card, the goal is to feel inspired and know that your inner being is guiding you for help, okay? So I'm your personal reader. This is your card. Let's see what it says, what it is. Ooh, I love this card. This card is so interesting in various different decks, and that's why I do like this. Now, if you order a personal reading with me, you can request any of my decks. You'll see I use different decks in all my lives and in my little everyday inspirational readings. I would be happy to accommodate that. All you have to do is tell me the reading, and I'll look for it. However, this one though, this is like miser energy. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Sushma, Fierta. Thank you, guys. I'm just so focused on the cards. I don't mean to ignore y'all. Thank you for being here. So let's see here. Oh, the miser energy. Now, the Four of Pentacles does show caution about your pentacles. So in some decks, there's a bit more pleasure. And there's not pleasure in the foreground of this card. But if you look in the background, see the castle right behind him? So he's not aware he is not aware of the wealth that he is living in already. So this is one of those cards. Have you guys, oh, thank you for the tips, you guys, love you. Have you ever heard of that, the law of assumption, and how they tell you to live as if? So you're like in between what you're wanting and having it develop. And so many beautiful teachers out there that teach about that. And so this is an example where you're not aware of how wealthy you already are. Wealth is the ability to be generous. Pam Grout wrote a wonderful book called Thank and Grow Rich, and that book teaches about how to use gratitude as like a superpower. And you won't believe it, but I actually am in that book. I wrote her I'm a fangirl. I wrote her an email and told her how much I liked her book E Squared, which completely changed my life. It put my life on a different trajectory. 9 energy experiments, and they're so easy, so fun. I had results. So I wrote an email to her. I just said, Pam, this is what happened. All of this happened. And next thing I know, I get a note that says, Pam Grout wants your personal email information. And I went, what? And so there she comes. And she asked me if she could interview me, my very own hero. She interviewed me and she put my story in her book. And so the reason she wanted to talk to me is because I had to learn how to only do what was pleasurable and fun. One of her teachings is if it's not fun, it's not sustainable. No matter what you're doing in relationships or with people, with your job, with your passion, if it's not fun, it's not sustainable. And so this answer here for you is what you're needing. You need to realize that you can practice wealth before you have lots and lots and lots to spend, because you can be generous. If you only have $1, you can give away 50 cents. Okay, this is anybody every card that I pull, I will invite a new group of people to receive it as their card. So right now, if this resonates with you, grab that energy, claim it, right? Because the reality is all of us have a little bit of a better life than someone else. Well, let's take a breath. I think 25 people should hit the like because of that truth. Because no matter where you are on the scale of life, someone always is doing better and someone's doing worse. So if you appreciate how wealthy you are today in your mind, you get to breathe. Every day you have an abundance of breath that's there without even you asking for it. Okay, so there's somebody I love named Brad Yates, and he does tapping. He and I both love tapping, and he is doing an abundance. He has an abundance class right now that you can sign up for, and it's in my community. So do take a peek, because you can have abundance without having money. Guess what? Not only that, but once you notice how much abundance you have, you're going to attract more of it. It's just the truth. And Pam Grout, real deal, the book, what is it? Thank and Grow Rich. For sure, you want to pick that book up. And if you have the paper copy, on page 92 is my story. And the nice thing, Pam put my website in there, and people have come to find me ever since. And that book was out in 2016. What a blessing. I didn't ask for that. It's so weird how it works once you start. Basically, the deal is to be able to stay calm when bad things happen. Isn't that ridiculous? Well, that's kind of all there is, because the calmer you are, the more likely the best part of your brain is in charge. The more upset you are, the better chance the worst part of your brain is involved. Okay? And obviously, we don't want to make decisions from our worst personality selves. We want to make decisions from our best self, which is the different part of our brain. Sorry to be so geeky, I can't help myself. Now, we're going to carry on. If y'all are having fun, I can hang out for a little bit. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. What I'm doing is I'm experimenting for sure with the format. So if you're enjoying it, let me know. You can send me an email. I don't know. See, everything's so big tonight, but this is my email, tarotinfoplease@gmail.com. And so I welcome y'all to write to me because you can tell me about your situation. And if I can, I will put your question into a group reading, and then I will do a personal reading just like this, but you'll get several cards, and that way you'll get more details on your question, okay? So anybody is welcome to email me. That's like a little commercial, isn't it? Look at that, you guys. I like that. Let me do that again. Okay, so here I'm going to do my commercial across the bottom of the screen. Email me at your convenience. Okay. All right, so here we are. You just joined me. That's great. You haven't missed a thing. I'm pretending tonight that I'm at the area farmers market right in your town. There I am, right in between the tomatoes and the lettuce. And I have my little booth set up, and you all can walk by because I'm giving away free readings. I'm going to draw you one card, and I'm going to hopefully fascinate you by being able to tell you a story about your situation. Even if we were in person, I would do it just like this. I would say, don't tell me anything about yourself. Let me see if the cards and my story will connect. Because if it does, it's so much fun for both of us. And if we were in person, then of course I could draw you more cards. But for now, all you do is you give me tips. And the tip jar is the like button. Okay? So here we go. We're going, you guys, and I have said earlier in the reading when, oh, thank you guys are so generous with your tipping, my heart. I'm just putting my hands on my chest. Thank you. But the very reality that as any kind of performance artist, that's what I see myself as. I do infotainment. I mean, nobody's going to go to the moon or anything with a 10-minute reading or a 2-minute reading. But I'm here to just provide that entertainment part that y'all aren't afraid of tarot and you look at it as something that could really help people. Because if you give a good reader the chance and she can read for you, he can read for you, 10, 15 cards, you'd be amazed at the personal nature of it. This stuff is so, so fun. So thank you for this experimental reading tonight. I've never done it like this before. So thank you for being here. So the setup is I'm right between the tomatoes and lettuce. See, I didn't lose my place. And I got my cute little table and tablecloth. And there's my love deeply sign I bring everywhere. Got my candle going. And so you sit down. It's your turn. So your decision to make this a private reading for you, all you do is decide. Honestly, you guys, it's that simple. Anybody you like in the collect, you do readings online like this. Anyone you like, just take it in. Who does it remind you? Like if they're talking about a person and all of a sudden you think, oh my gosh, that's my son-in-law. Exactly what they're saying. And then you start to receive it with that energy. There's a lot of bad stuff online, but what's going on with sincere people who understand how to help connect people to stories, this is the real deal. Okay, so with that said, you have been in line, very patient, thank you. So I have a little dish of candies over here. You can help yourself. And now think about your issue. Okay, so all of y'all that are here, I am your personal tarot reader, and this is the card. See what part of it resonates with your life right now, okay? My hero, the magician. Lovely. Okay, now let's take a breath. Okay. I want to tell you a little bit of magic, okay? Many people that contact me, many people that naturally find me, have an unusual learning style. That some parts about being schooled in regular school absolutely did not fit. And there's a kind of intelligence that absolutely goes against the grain. And so because of that, I always figure there's a few people listening to me always who fall into that. Part of the problem with that type of lifetime is that you end up being everybody's superhero. You're able to see things people can't see. And that puts you at odds with a lot of people. Some people don't understand it. The very first time that you got like an impression when you were little, you got an impression, you kind of felt something, you had a knowing that nobody could explain to you. There's certain people, I would count myself in that group, that never understood that. I spent 20 years in born again Christianity, and I had words of wisdom for people, and I didn't understand that, but there was a name for it. And they lay hands on people, and they do other what I call magical stuff, in parts of Christianity. And I loved that part. I was living in the Midwest in Milwaukee, and it was like spiritually sanctioned seeking. I mean, if you went to some sort of charismatic group, at least you had some stuff going on, right? But eventually it passed. I came out of a cocoon into something else. And that was 20 years ago, so I'm right now just so curious about how things fit. And I meet so many people that are doing too much. Notice all on his, notice, oh, I can point with my shadow. Oh, that's fun. Okay. So see the cup and the pentacle and the sword. And where is the, oh, there's the wand. See it? Wait, where's there, see it? So you've got all the tools. Some people might even tease you and say, are you from this planet? Right? Because it's like Starman. It's like you know too much. But guess what? You get absolutely exhausted. Okay? You get exhausted and you don't know how to put your arm down and relax. So anyway, I had to just do that rant for you. So let's apply it to your problem. So with your problem right now, this is like you're going through your life and you have 4 tires on your car and one of them is low. Okay? Oh, thank you for the flowers. You guys are giving me so many flowers this reading. I never want to quit. Anyway, but see, there's flowers on the card too. Where's my point out there? See, there's the flowers, and you guys are giving me flowers. Thank you for that. Oh, more flowers. Oh, my phone's running out of battery. Okay, so I can't go too much longer. But at any rate, it's important, though, I was kidding around, but it's important that you find a way to refresh yourself, magician. The people love you and they feel your magic and they want more of you. But look at that look on his face. Whoopsie. I wonder if I can focus better. No, I'll go back. Okay, see? He has so much love to give, but there's a lot of people who grew up in very dramatic childhoods. They never know where the edge is between their drama and somebody else's. So you get pulled in as problem solver to too many things. Believe me, I understand that. And I live alone right now. And I love it because with the way I grew up, I was just there for everybody all the time, big family and etc. And then getting married young and being a mom. Now I'm a grandma. But the point is, though, that eventually, listen to this. This is really good. If you have a pencil, write it down. The need is not the call. Wait, listen again. The need is not the call. What does that mean to you? The lady that told me was about 4'8", darling little white-haired woman with blue eyes that went right through you. And I had stayed up till 2 a.m. I had spoken at a retreat, and there were a line of people that wanted to talk to me. So from 10 o'clock till 2 a.m, I just stood there. I had all this energy, and it felt delicious. Da 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 da, just like him. It felt so delicious to be the hero, and I was the hero till 2 a.m. And the next day I was a little spent, and this little lady, Lucy, came up to me, and she grabbed both of my arms, and she said, listen to me. The need is not the call. You will never, ever be able to meet the need that's out there. And the call in your life is not to meet all the needs. So your answer is to really evaluate and make sure that you are getting enough time. Meditation is just closing your eyes while you're awake. You don't have to change how you're thinking. You don't. You just sit in a chair with your back straight up and just 5-10 minutes, set a timer, and all you do is just close your eyes and breathe. Believe me, that will downshift your brain into a better space. Okay? This will help you. Because you do need to get a little rest so that you can hear from your deepest intuition. It's almost, you've heard of fake news. It's almost like you have fake intuition. It kind of tells you that other people's needs are more important than yours. Okay, but you have way too much magic, and we don't want you under leveraged because we need you on the planet right now, for sure. Okay, very cool reading. Now, let me do a commercial for myself again, because I am running out of time and battery, so we're going to have to end soon. But I will be back. Please hit the subscribe. The more likes I get, the more YouTube will invite people to the party. So I do appreciate your support. I really do. And so if you loved this kind of reading, add it in the comments. Be sure to let me know, and I will do it again. I have lots of little bitty fun decks like this. So if you want to get to know me better, write me an email. I can explain to you how you can get another type of personal reading from me for free. Because if you have a question that I can make into a themed reading, I will do that. And then I will do your reading at the end of the live reading. And I will draw very many more than one card, because it's just a one card reading tonight. Okay? Who needs a reel to go at the bottom? All right, so I'm going to do one more. And so the setting is, we are at the farmer's market in a little village near your town. Thank you for the flowers. And you're shopping for a baguette and some cheese. You've already been to the area vineyard and you've picked your favorite wine, and you're going to be serving a guest. And you can't wait. You're getting some fruit to go with your cheese and your baguette, and you notice there's lovely me sitting there at the market, and you decide you're going to come over and sit down and get a reading. And when you sit down, the very first thing I do is I look at you and I say, I have this crystal and I feel like I need to give it to you. And I pass it off to you. And you look up at me and you're surprised. And I said, I think it's a leopard jasper. You might want to look that up when you get home. And you slip it into your pocket. And I say, you know what? I'm doing a little experiment today. I don't want you to tell me your problem or what's going on. I just want to allow my intuition and the cards and your intuition, which is here with me now, to create a story. And then your job is just to see if there's part of this story that resonates with you or inspires you. If it does, there's no fee. I just work for tips, and my tip jar is the like button. So with that in mind, go ahead and think of your issue, your person, what it is you're wanting. And then I am your personal card reader, and this is your card. We have had some lovely, if some of you have been here for a while, we've had some great cards, haven't we? This Ace of Cups is really wonderful. Let's take a breath together. Do you notice how many times I say, let's take a breath? If you follow my work, you may be one of the people who stops breathing without realizing it. If you were raised with some sort of trauma, and my trauma was an accident. My mom had a horrific accident when she was, I was not 2 years old yet, and she had an accident, and it changed our family because her recovery took so long. So it wasn't like a boo-hoo drama story like divorce or something. It was like it did lead to divorce eventually, but just because the injury itself put such a it squeezed our family so tightly that everything changed. And in the area of love, there was lots of confusion. And so some of us, if you were raised like me, there were parts of us that were pinched off, not able to understand about love. because the people we grew up with were actually childlike in how they handled their emotions, where how they handled themselves emotionally was like a tantrum. And it was so inconsistent, and we didn't know what to think. So, this Ace of Cups coming right now, what the cards are trying to say is that if we can develop this sense of resilience, okay, the one thing that we do bring forward when we come from a life of trauma or drama, because there's studies right now really that say that trauma is almost like a gift, because the way it twists the brain can be difficult, and it can cause a lot of stress in how you pick your goals and who you trust. But once you have tools to manage it, the people who have survived trauma and drama are very strong, and that resilience can carry you far. But you need to have tools, because you can become wrought. You can, what's that word? Overwrought. Now, the last card, if you weren't here, you just want to rerun it, because it was about exactly this issue, wasn't it, everyone? Where it was about a person who needs to understand how to restore himself. So, this card is showing you, my friend, that this is often symbolic of the Holy Grail, which was, of course, the chalice that Jesus used and was lost. It was always the hunt for the Holy Grail. But they didn't get it, because the Grail didn't mean anything, did it? No, it was the promise of the eternal love that was carried in the Grail. That's what was important, not the vessel itself. And so this card goes hand in hand with the last card, because and I count myself as that. I said earlier, I consider myself like a performance art. I do infotainment. I create informative, entertaining inspiration, hopefully. And if you like it, you guys will give me a tip by hitting the like, right? But I'm not going to solve any of your problems in one card in 3 minutes, right? That makes zero sense. But that's why there's people online today who, just like myself, people hire us for private readings, because they like our vibe, they like what we say, and they want to have 10, 12, 15 cards for themselves. They want it recorded just like this so that they can have it and listen again and again. And there are tons of people that do exactly that. But what I'm doing, because I can't be in your village, I can't be between the lettuce and the wine and you picking up your picnic, I just pretend I'm there. And I'm offering this reading for you with the hope that it gives you the entertainment and inspiration that'll lift your spirits, okay? So here, look at how the water, wait, where's my pointer? There it is. Okay. Look at how the water gets tinier and fatter, right? It gets crimped. And it reminds me of how when things get pinched off, by the bad experiences. So whatever the problem is that you're going through, and believe me, people are going through all kinds of problems, is that whatever it is, if you feel pinched off from your inner being, and let me just bring my wonderful little figure here over, because this little figure has been instrumental in my lives so far this month, because this is my reminder that I have a invisible, non-physical self. My soul, the part of me that is bigger than my personality. This represents my personality, my smaller self when I get sulky and snarky. Yes, I get sulky and snarky, ask my family. But when I'm not at my best, it's because I have forgotten that this non-physical part of me is exactly why I should not be mad at myself. This part of me loves me. Thank you, Dr. Joe Dispenza. This part of me loves me and is my strength during times when I'm feeling hopeless. This combination of knowing that you're loved, this is what this card is all about. It's going back to source. So there's resources that I'm going to put into the comments box as soon as I get done. And there's something in there called the Worry Cure. The worry cure is the solution for you. I created it about 10 years ago now because I had clients that were in terrible problems. I can't solve everybody's problem. That's not even my job. I'm just like the court jester. I'm entertaining you with inspiring ideas so that you can hang in there. Because if you're down and out and you need trouble, you're going to need to learn some things. Ask the right people for help, and you're going to need to restore your belief that your inner being is enough to guide you. Okay, so there's a wonderful woman. Her name is Jessica Heslop, Heslop. I do put her stuff in my community. Her material is so good if you're feeling helpless and hopeless. Her affirmations are so filled with healing. There's one of them called Getting Over Burnout or Chronic Pain. Even if you don't have burnout or chronic pain, listen to it. It's so soothing. We need to feed our brains ideas that are wholesome for our own selves, because without source, without spiritual reality, energetic tuning, if we're doing it just on our humanity, we're going to always be exhausted. We need to believe that we have an inner being that's cheerleading us. And that's what I'm doing. Every single reading that I do is about hooking you up to your inner being. I can't solve your problem. I don't know if that person is good for you. I don't know where you're going to live next. But I know that your best chance is to hook into your inner being. If you have not watched Abraham Hicks, start watching them. I started listening to them over 20 years ago. Do you know they teach the same stuff right now and they never get bored? They teach the same ideas over and over again, which is you're always going to be at your best when you're calm and relaxed. They use the word vortex, and that's their little weird language, and I love them. But when you're calm and relaxed, your brain is optimized. Your brain will flow with better ideas when you're calm and relaxed. And believe it or not, that's what it's all about. Now, I see Tanzanite there. Tanzanite, you are, I am. I love that. I feel like Tanzanite. First of all, I love Tanzanite. Man, that's one of my favorites. But I love that because we're opening and closing the evening with me getting to play my game tonight. I've been almost an hour. I've loved it so much. I wanted to pretend that I was available in your town and that you could actually see me. So I created a scene of being at a little village farmer's market that's a little off the track. You don't go there often. In fact, it might be the first time you're ever there, and you've already picked up your beautiful peaches and your lemons and your limes, and you're going to make sangria this afternoon, and you're collecting everything you need, and you catch my eye, and there I am sitting over there with my table shuffle. I look like I'm cleaning up because I've given so many readings, and I've already picked up my cards, Tanzanite, and I'm ready to go home. And you slide over to my table and say, wait, excuse me, are you still available? I would love a reading. And I say, oh, for you, I would love it. And I look at you, your outfit, how you present yourself is so cool. And I connect with you right away. So you sit down and I say, wait. Don't tell me anything, because here's my game today. What I'm doing is I'm inviting people for a single card reading at no cost at all, except for my tip jar. And the tip jar is the like button. And so let me just draw you my last card of the day. What's your name? And you tell me, well, my friends call me Tanzanite. And instantly I picture a beautiful, gleaming Tanzanite. And I say, okay, my friend, you're my last person. Let's see what we have for you. So those of you who are not Tanzanite, what you're going to do is you're going to allow yourself to imagine that this is your reading, that I am your private tarot reader, because I am right now. And all you have to do is to decide that this will be applicable for you. And then listen to the story I tell and see if any part of it is resonant or gives you some sort of feeling of inspiration for your situation. All right? So let me grab that. And don't forget to hit that tip jar, you guys. Send a girl some flowers. Okay, and tanzanite. Okay, first of all, look at the color of his garment. Okay, let's take a breath. Okay, all right. Okay, so I feel like the energy seems to be in your situation that I'm just seeing you gripping, like gripping that sword. I first was aware of those 3 crows or the 3 turkey vultures I see a lot in my life. And they were true when I lived in Mexico. I lived on the side of a cliff. And when the turkey vultures would fly through the sky, it was like they were right at my eye level. I got to watch them as they flew by. It was magnificent. And they're not the most attractive bird with their red bald head, but they evolved that way or were created that way, whichever, because they eat carrion, they eat the remains, and so they're part of what creates the life on our planet. And so I often say it's a face only a mother could love. But the meaning of the turkey vulture is nothing is ever wasted. Okay, so that message to me is very dear. So if you have turkey vultures where you live, Tanzanite, I would be aware of the next time you see 3 together. They often do hang out together. And let that be a reminder to you and everyone who's hearing my voice that if you see a turkey vulture and from underneath they're black and white, which is such a great call, because so many people that are going through things, we have a bad habit of doing stuff black and white, and we don't understand that there's shades of gray all in between, and that's important to develop nuance and not to see things with so much ironclad certainty. Okay, so for example, if you're worried about somebody, concern might be a 1 on the scale, where you're concerned and it's very tight and constricted. On the other side of the scale might be curious. Are you curious about the person? Truly, are you just curious, like I wonder what they're up to? Is it worry, really? Is it concern, or is it just curiosity? And I want to challenge you that every worry negative word has an opposite that is positive. And if you can start addressing those nuances in between, Tanzanite, I think you're going to look at your situation much differently. The stance that you're taking is so gripped and so tight. And in this art, it clearly shows that there's not enough energy for the heart. There's so much, and I'm gripping my hand right now. I'm gripping my hand really tightly as I'm doing this, and as I'm gripping that hand, there's so much tenacity and determination and fatigue, right? So Tanzanite, if you just got here, you might want to just cruise through the earlier readings. I mean, I have been here a whole hour, but you could put it on the settings like 2.0, and then I'm but the point is, though, that these last 3 or 4 readings would be helpful for you, because this is like when you get on a plane and they say to you, make sure that you put your seatbelt on first, right? I mean, not put your seatbelt, of course, but use the oxygen first, because if you start to fall, everything falls, okay? So as you release that hand, in fact, right now, just go ahead. Oh, you're so sweet, Tanzanite. So go ahead and shake your hand out and just relax it and just lay it on your heart like you're pledging allegiance. And that's Murphy, if you haven't met him yet. Anyway, he loves when you hit the tip jar, by the way. Be sure to hit the like. That's the only payment there is. And so right now, as you put your hand on your heart, just praise yourself. Even though my problems haven't disappeared, I'm proud of myself. Even though I don't know for sure what I'm going to do next, I'm proud of myself. Even though here I am in the middle of the night with my hand on my heart talking to a woman I never met before, I'm proud of myself, right? Because the truth is, we are always guided by our inner being, who is always here. Thank you. God help him. Anyway, but thank you so much for being here tonight, for entertaining me with your presence and for giving this a chance. If you want, you can certainly ask me for a private reading. You can email me. I'm going to bring it across the screen, my last commercial of the night. Thank you for all of the likes. This has just been fabulous. And now you're seeing this is my email address. So if you email me a question, I will email you back. And I will pick you for a future reading. I do those in the morning. I'm so sorry for that barking. And then if I answer your question, you will get personal cards drawn for you at the end of that reading, okay? And it's such a blessing when you do that because it makes my life easier by having readings where my people are truly asking questions they want answers for. Okay, so thank you for your support. I love y'all so much. I'm enjoying these live readings more than I thought I would, and I love what Pam Grout teaches, which is that book, two of them, E Squared and Thank and Grow Rich. And her main thing about life, so simple. If it's not fun, it's not sustainable. So find some fun in it, and you will find blessing upon blessing. If I can serve you by giving you a private reading, my rates are not out of the ballpark, and I would love to read the cards for you personally. It would be my honor and pleasure. It's why I'm here. But thank you for visiting me at all the farmers markets. You guys were great. Thanks for playing along, and I will see you at the next live. I'm just going to blow out my candle to symbolize the end. And thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. You bring life to what I'm doing, y'all. And look at how perspective is. It's like over here, this glass looks really tiny, and you pull it close and it looks like a giant. But anyway, thanks for everything. If you have ideas or you want a certain type of reading, there's all kinds of readings. So just email me with your idea. I would absolutely love that. And I love when y'all keep track of me and let me know how you are doing. Also, make sure to use the community tab. I do spend time just loading it up with things that will inspire and encourage you. Okay? So go forth and prosper. Have a beautiful rest of your night, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next reading. Bye, everybody.